What's up, y'all? It's your boy QUP, Nerds Rule the World. Initial thoughts coming out of the screening of Roofman. Derek Cianfrance, I'm probably brutalizing his name, is the writer-director, starring Channing Tatum, Kirsten Dunst, Uzo Aduba, Ben Mendelsohn. Initial thoughts. I thought it was great. That was, really good. I came in kind of just hoping for an okay movie. I thought it was interesting, based on real cat, true story. And you feel and you care for this guy. You understand what's going on with this guy, and you're kind of cheering for him to win in a way, or not get re-jailed by the police. But you can't commit crimes and do stuff like that and not get back on that. So get in trouble for that. So I thought it was a great film. Recommend. I'll have a full review on the channel. But yeah, Roofman coming to theaters October 10th. Go check it out. It's your boy QP, Nerds Rule the World.
Hello, everyone. It's the NRW and Nerds Rule the World. I'm Heather Hurt. That's QUP. And we're going to talk about a guy who likes to hang out on the roof and then break in and accidentally go into the wrong building. Let's talk Roofman.
We all like going back in time and imagining how things could have gone differently. Like, what if I made different choices? Would I have ended up here?
6 months and still no leads on the whereabouts of the escaped convict known as the Roofman.
I was never very good at life.
Good morning, team. No. Don't be scared.
Kind of like I was not good at hurting people.
Dwayne, get your coat. I don't have one. Are you serious?
Here. I was good at seeing things. Details. Systems and routines.
A manhunt tonight for an escaped prisoner.
Find a safe place to hide for a few months.
He's a very smart individual, super intelligent.
You're just the man I want to see.
You like peanut M&Ms, right?
We're missing a lot. You have any idea why?
I just thought, they gotta be hiding somewhere. Boop.
I wanted to invite you to my toy drive.
We sell toys here, we don't give them away.
Wow.
I would like to introduce you to someone who made a generous toy donation.
That's so kind of you.
So, John, I understand you work for the government.
So it's a little classified, so.
I never knew we had an intelligence unit here in Charlotte.
Oh, are you law enforcement?
Yes, I am.
Wow, that's amazing.
Police believe the Roofman may still be in the area.
What the? Oh my God!
You got your passport? You got to leave tonight. I mean, can't I just stay? Oh, how? I'll just lay low. I need you to really think about who you talk to. You just look like this all the time?
Tell me what's going on. Right now.
Who do you want to be, Jeff?
I need you to take the ink while I'm out. If I do that, it'll blow up. Not if you do it quick. Oops.
Roofman is a retelling of the true story of Jeffrey Manchester, who was also known as the Roofman. He was able to watch and carefully figure out the money transfers for McDonald's, and got himself this nice little life before he was caught, and then he escaped 3 times in total. This is about his first big escape, where he meets a young lady, and they hit it off pretty well. With that being said, that's kind of it. This story is about what he did while he was out for a little while. The story was written and directed by Derek Cianfrance, who I had the pleasure of talking to. Interview is already up on the channel if you want to check it out. And it was also written by Kurt Gunn. It features Channing Tatum as Jeffrey Manchester. And I'm so sorry, guys. Everything is all messed up. Kirsten Dunst as Leigh Winscott. Lily Callias, as Lindsay. Kennedy Moyer as Dee, and we have everyone in such a weird spot. I'm so sorry. And Peter Dinklage as Mitch. I'm sorry about that. With that being said, that's the cast and crew. Kuya and I did do our initial reaction to this film way back in the day. Kuya, what were your thoughts?
I thought it looked interesting. I had heard of this caper from back in the day. Thought it was very interesting. So now we were getting a feature-length adaptation of that. And Channing Tatum, come on now, he's dreamy. He's our Gambit. Kirsten Dunst, she's our MJ. Lakeith Stanfield, Juno Temple, Peter Dinklage, Toxic Avenger. All in. It looks interesting. The presentation from what we saw on the trailer dialed me in. Knowing the story, I was ready to understand more fully and see how this was going to play out. So I think I was keen on from the trailer to see the film.
I was about the same way. Channing Tatum always plays like these really weird characters, these really fun, silly characters, which after all the shit he used to get, I am completely okay with him just having fun with the rest of his career. So I knew this was going to be a fun story, and after I got to speak to Derek Cianfrance, I was excited. That was a very last minute switchover. Kuya was supposed to do that interview, so I got to talk and pretend that I was him for about 10 minutes. So there was that. It was a really fun conversation. One of the big takeaways from that interview, by the way, is he actually saw, and I still have my Halloween decorations up. I don't want to take them down. It's fine. I had my Halloween decorations up, and Derek said in that interview that this is a holiday film. And you know what? I kind of agree. I kind of agree. So with that, let's go right into our review. Kuya.
I thought it was a great ensemble. Once, finally digging in, great ensemble, great. Well shot, well written. Shout out to Derek Cianfrance. And thank you, Heather, for stepping in there. I was excited to speak with him because, again, I thought this was really well done. Overall, how we follow this character from robbing McDonald's, being a Robin Hood of sorts, to then breaking free, figuring out how to do that, to then, holding up in a Toys R Us. What human being on this earth that grew up with Toys R Us didn't want to live in a Toys R Us? That fulfilled those fantasies for me, to see somebody do that on screen, having to want to do it as a child who always, that was awesome. So it just was interesting. And then to him to gain interest with Kirsten Dunst's character, who is one of the employees, and then how like that relationship builds, even though he's in hiding, was very interesting. And you're cheering for this guy, to still evade the police, evade capture. You're cheering for a criminal, to be honest. And also it helps that he was a Robin Hood. He wasn't like a evil person per se, he tried to do his best during his crimes because he couldn't, being a former veteran, he couldn't get a job in the fashion that would pay to help him take care of his kids, that he needed for himself. And had a hard time. So it was somewhat relatable in a lot of ways. But yeah, overall, the story, giving us the story, and again, adapted. Some stuff is true, some stuff isn't. But overall, I thought this was a really well done film in both its cinematography, the acting, and the story. I know Heather has a little complaint about the length, but I think overall, I had a good time with it. My only critique really is, he had this same goatee before and after. If you're in hiding, I would have shaved all that off. Disguise yourself more, do all these things. It is based on a true story, so probably the real guy didn't do that. But I just there's certain things I would have done in hiding. Do better. We got to do better, criminals. I'm not a criminal, but if you're trying to hide out, do something better to keep yourself hidden. I don't know. I'm cheering this criminal on in this film. But I thought it was great. I thought it was a really great film. And might make it into my top 10, definitely in the top 20 for the year. Roofman.
And by the way, I finally found who I was looking for, who was at the top of the list. Tony Revolori, I think is how you say his last name, who plays Dwayne. I absolutely loved him. I apologize. That's who I was looking for when I was scrolling and looking for names in IMDb. IMDb, fix your freaking algorithm. I really loved Dwayne. I thought he was a fun character. He was so 90s. He was so 90s, early 2000s that it just kind of felt a little bit like home. Him plus the Toys R Us gave me just all of the 90s, late 90s, early 2000 feels. It was great. my one complaint that Kuyopi brought up was not timing, it was pace. There are times where the pacing on this film are lengthy. It's not necessarily 2 hours is not bad for this type of movie, not at all. But there are moments where you're like, and but other than that, I actually had a lot of the same feelings that Kuyopi have. I thought the casting was really great. You can definitely tell when that this is the grandiose version of this story. But it's a Channing Tatum film. Of course it's going to be grandiose. At the same time, you also respect the amount of vested interest and care that Derek Cianfrance and the team had in this film. I think he said that in 15-minute increments, he spent over 200 hours speaking to the real Jeffrey Manchester. And you could feel it. You could feel that connection was there. And one of the big other things that you could truly feel is how anybody can be in this position. Anyone can feel that they need to give something to the people that they love. They have to. We are a very capitalistic, materialistic society. No matter how much many of us want to fight that fact, we are very, very materialistic and capitalistic, and not being able to give stuff to people we love is difficult. And you could feel that throughout the entire film. John wanted to give everything to his new girlfriend and her kids. He wanted to give everything to his daughter, and it took really taking a step back to realize that what he needed. And one conversation I asked him about, I mentioned the Kuyopi said at the beginning that this kind of had a little bit of a Robin Hood mentality to it, and he was just like, yeah, but you have to remember he was a criminal. Every single damn thing he did was a crime. He was stealing left and right. Yes, it might have seemed like it was sweet. It might have seemed like it was nice, but it was all a crime. Everything he did was a crime. And it makes you think a lot. It also makes you really miss Toys R Us.
Yes. Oh, so much so. Yeah.
Anywho, those are my thoughts. I really did enjoy it. I had some expectations going into it because I had heard Kuyopi's response. I had talked to Derek about it, and I was really excited for this movie. And other than some very minor pacing complaints, because I am a critic and I need to be critical of real critical things, Kuyopi, Jesus Christ.
We can agree to disagree. I think, and that's all perspective again. No, I respect that you had pacing, For me, I would voice that in certain things. I'm not just giving it to give it, but
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah. All good.
With that, it's other than some very minor pacing issues, I really had fun with this film. Do I think it's going to be an Oscar winner? No. Is it a sweet, fun film? Absolutely.
Definitely shots on this ensemble. Again, Channing carried this well as a great film. He is the Roofman. He led this film. It's focused on him, but Kirsten Dunst, as the love interest, the relationship that they build. Peter Dinklage, this boss of the Toys R Us, this manager who has to be a dick, but also, you care when things happen later on and just his goofiness. It's just, just a great little cast here, but fun times. I recommend.
It really makes you question what a bad guy is.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
There is not black and white. There are grays, and there is usually reasons that people live within those grays. And I think this was a great film to illustrate that very clearly. With that being said, the film is currently still available in some smaller, every theater is a great theater, but it's usually like the dollar theaters, the theaters that you go that get the last run. So Roofman, as of this recording, at the end of November, right before Thanksgiving, it is still in the smaller theaters. It's hitting that final run before the end of the year. But if you are at home and you want to watch it on stream, it is available on Apple TV. I almost said it again. Prime Video, and a lot of your others like Fandango. So it is available to rent right meow. Kuyopi, any final thoughts?
Great film in my top 20. Really enjoyed it. Recommend.
If you can get into a weekend matinee of this film, I would have said that this would be good to see in theaters because I enjoyed it a lot. But I would say that it's probably just worth the stream now because it's mostly on stream anyway. With that being said, if you agree, if you disagree, tell us in the comments below and like, subscribe, share all of those things, and we will talk to y'all soon.